Hello VC, hello DC. Yesterday I went to the Rat Hole, a brand new record store in town, only been open a few days. Went there with my good friend Gregory Short. So, without any further ado, let's go down the rat hole. Hello again, vinyl community, Matt here. Cheers everyone. I do like to have a nice cold Diet Coke from time to time. So, yesterday I went to a new record store in town, here in Riverside, California. Brand new store, literally only been open for a few days. I met up with Gregory Short and also his friend, his co-worker named Robbie. Very nice to meet Robbie. And we also got to meet Chris, the owner of the new store. Really nice guy. And I got to tell you, I was kind of blown away because it's a small store, as you probably saw in the video footage. But I did not know there were still record stores around that had prices as low as this, and it's really kind of refreshing. And we talked to Chris, the owner, for quite a while. Really nice guy. He apologized. He said all things are still kind of disorganized, but we were like, hey, considering you've only been open a few days, you're doing pretty well. But he did say that so far he's only had like one customer a day. So I think we like tripled his average his average customer count. But yeah, really great store, and I think it might become a regular haunt for Greg and I. I really do, because with prices like that, hey, and he said he's getting 50,000 more records in the next couple of weeks. So obviously in a couple of weeks we're going to go back. I mean, you've got it, right? Well, let's have a look at what we got. Here's the stack. Now, most of these were $1.88, a few exceptions, which I'll point out. But again, I've done the math on this. If I were to buy these certainly on eBay, I would have paid at least double, and I think probably closer to triple what I ended up paying. So let's have a look. First up, we have Stevie Nicks, Belladonna. Great album. This was $1.88. And by the way, all of these are in really nice condition too. Really nice condition. It's on the Modern Records label. There we go. So that was another pleasant surprise. Now, not every record in the store was in good a condition as this, of course. Like a lot of record stores, you had to kind of pick your way through the bins and find the really good stuff. But yeah, everything that I picked up is at least VG Plus condition, and I'd say most of it is excellent or better. Next up we have ZZ Top's Eliminator. This was also $1.88. I don't know for sure if this is their best known album, but it has 3 big hits on it. Gimme All Your Lovin', Legs, and Sharp Dressed Man. Those were all big hits for ZZ Top. And this is on the Warner label right here. There's a little bit of a sticker on it, whatever that is, but yeah, again, very nice condition. In fact, this one's actually probably in the worst condition, at least in terms of the sleeve. Out of all the ones I got, just has a little bit of wear, which you can probably make out here. But still nice, very nice. Again, $1.88, can't go wrong. Next up, Journey Frontiers. I've been wanting to pick this up for a while and just haven't. Mostly because it contains faithfully, excuse me, faithfully. Which is probably my favorite Journey song. And this is on the, what label is this? Oh, Columbia. Yeah, on the Columbia label. Yeah. And it also has Separate Ways Worlds Apart, which I think I have the 45 of too. Pretty sure I do. Which was also a pretty big hit for Journey. And let's see, when was this? 84, 83? 83, 1983. Again, $1.88. Van Halen, OU812. I do have this on cassette already, but again, this is $1.88. I couldn't pass it up. Again, just lovely condition, really lovely condition, nice and shiny. Let's see, this is on, what label is this on? I don't remember. Oh, this is Warner Brothers. This is one of their slightly later albums. This came out in 1988. Again, $1.88. I mean, yeah. Okay, this next one was a little bit more expensive. This is Earth, Wind and Fire's Greatest Hits Volume 1. I've been wanting this for a while. This was $5, which I was happy to pay. Nice gatefold right here. Let's have a look at the record. On the Columbia label, I think. Yeah, Columbia. Right here. I thought $5 was reasonable. Usually goes for a bit more than that, like on eBay or Discogs. Obviously, everything's dependent on condition. Okay, next up, the Cars self-titled album. I think this was their first album, presumably. Again, $1.88. I couldn't leave it. I wish they had Candy O for $1.88, and I wish I'd bought it. I'm kind of regretting it, but I saw several copies of it, so I'm sure we'll go back in a couple of weeks, and I may pick up a copy of Candy O as well. And this is on, oh yeah, Elektra. Big hit on this was Good Times Roll. Oh, and Just What I Needed, of course. Good Times Roll and Just What I Needed. Again, and the record's just a beautiful condition. Really nice indeed. And a lot of these albums he had several copies of too. I think I saw another copy of this. Next up we have Thomas Dolby, The Flat Earth. $1.88 again, couldn't pass it up. The big hit on here was Hyperactive. Still in a shrink with the hype sticker on it. Let's have a look at the label. This is on the Capitol, the Rainbow Capitol label. Right here. Released in 1984. Yeah, 1984. And you saw in the video as well, I mean, this guy's not just selling records, he also has CDs, has t-shirts and posters. And not just 12-inch records. You saw some of the footage there. He has a bunch of 45s. And I started flicking through them, and I thought, no, I better stop, because he had a Morrissey single, Irish Blood, English Heart. He had like 4 or 5 copies of it, and I thought they were $2.50 each. I thought that was a great price, and I was so tempted. But I was like, you know what? Let's, you know, I was already spending over $40, so I thought that'll keep for another time. Next up, we have Wings, Band on the Run. This is a later repress, but it's still in the shrink. Still has the hype sticker and the price sticker on it. And I already have this, but I'm pretty sure this is an upgrade copy for $1.88. I could not pass it up. I just thought I gotta get it. It still has the poster in here, which my copy has as well. But you know, always nice to have it. And again, just wonderful condition. I mean, there's not a mark on it. I mean, it's like looking at an ice rink, all smooth. You know what I mean? And it's one of my favorite albums of all time. Not in the top 10, but it might be in the top 50, which might sound like a lot, but I like a lot of albums. You know? And it is definitely my favorite Wings album for sure. And probably my favorite post-Beatles McCartney album. So yeah, I just thought for still in the shrink with the hype sticker. I don't know what pressing it is. It must be a later pressing. Yeah, but yeah, for $2, not even $2, obviously. Next up, this one was a little more, but in fact, well, let me show it to you. In Excess Kick. This has been on my wish list for a long time. Ironically, I was even bidding on a copy of it on eBay when I found this yesterday, but I didn't win it. I was outbid, and it ended up selling for like $15 or something. $5, $5. Really nice copy of it. In fact, I would go so far as to call the sleeve close to mint. I mean, it's just beautiful. Couple of very minor marks on the vinyl, like hairline scratches, very small. Other than that, the vinyl is in excellent condition. And yeah, for $5, I would have expected to pay $15 on eBay for it. And I almost didn't even see it. It was I think it was when Greg was pricing up his finds, and I was having a flick through some of the bins I hadn't looked at yet. This was in there. It wasn't in the $1.88 section. It was higher up. And I brought it over and I just asked him how much. He said, "How about $5?" And I was like, you know, shut up and take my money. Obviously, $5. I think this is one of the greatest albums of the '80s. It's probably one of the best albums of all time. Guns in the Sky, New Sensation, Devil Inside. Need You Tonight was the big hit, but Mediate, that's a great track, Mediate. What else is on here? Never Tear Us Apart. Yeah, come on. Mystify and Kick, those are both hits as well. Yeah, absolutely. Next, this is another one that was a little bit more, but Dire Straits' Money for Nothing. This is a greatest hits album. I've never seen this on vinyl. It's not especially rare, I don't think, but I think this was $7 he let me have it for. I think if you went on eBay, certainly with shipping, you'd have a hard time finding it for under 20. You know, you might find it for 15 plus $5 shipping or something. Probably not in as good a condition. It's still in the shrink, and this thing is like near mint. It's just absolutely beautiful, really nice, really nice. And yeah, like I said, it's a greatest hits album. Funny story behind this: I used to have this on CD when I was a teenager. The previous owners of the house we moved to when I was 15 years old gave it to me. I think now you might wonder why I was over at the house. They lived 2 houses down. We moved. There's a whole long story, but we moved 2 houses down when I was 15 years old. We moved from a 3-bedroom semi-detached house to a 4-bedroom detached house, and it was much bigger. And so, you know, it was a 20-second walk away. So, and I remember my brother and I went over to their house a couple of times because we were going to be moving in, and you know, they said, "Okay, come over." And I think I'd seen their CDs and I was interested. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, this has all the big hits on it: Sultans of Swing, Down to the Waterline, Portobello Bell, Twisting by the Pool, Romeo and Juliet. I mean, what a great song that is. Where Do You Think You're Going? Walk of Life, Private Investigations, Money for Nothing, Tunnel of Love, Brothers in Arms. You know, it's not all the hits, but it's a good selection of hits. And for $7, you gotta pick that up. Still in the shrink. Look at that, beautiful. Donovan's greatest hits. This was a little bit more as well. This was $5. I was thinking about it, wasn't sure about it, and so he priced it up here. It didn't have a sticker on it before, but he priced it up while I was waiting. You know, thinking about it and still looking around. And I got back and said, you know what, yeah, I'll get that for $5. I've been wanting this. aside from the fact that it has a hole punch right here, it's in very nice condition indeed. Now this is a much newer pressing because this is on the blue Epic label right here. I'm not even sure when this originally came out, to be honest with you. Early 70s is my guess. I think it's something like that. It was probably originally on the yellow Epic label from the 70s. Maybe it even came out in the late 60s. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this has been on my wish list. I do have his Catch the Wind album already. We'll see whether I keep that or not. Just because the title track's on here, I probably will keep it for now. Okay, last two are both soundtracks. I was thrilled to find both of these. I really was. First up, Raiders of the Lost Ark, $1.88. Oh, come on, you got it. It's one of the greatest films of all time. Certainly one of the best movies of the 80s. It's on the Red Columbia label right here. 1981, same year the film came out. And again, it's in nice condition, very nice condition. I would probably put it at EX, excellent condition. Yeah, tiny bit of ring wear at the top. That's the only very minor issue with it, which to me is not a big issue. And I was even more thrilled to find this soundtrack. This is the last album I'm going to show. Back to the Future. $1.88. You pay 15 to 20 bucks on eBay for this. Still in the shrink? Dude, come on. This is on the MCA label right here. Yeah. $1.88. This actually wasn't in one of the lower bins. This was in one of the bins further up. And so, you know, I'd asked him for a price, and he's like, $1.88. Yeah, by my reckoning, I would have paid well over $100 for this on either eBay or Discogs. And honestly, and I don't want to put like Mad Platter down because I like the store. But this lot would have been over $100 at Mad Platter. I have no doubt about it. Just because I've seen the price, you know, and that would have been an average price. That would have been okay. But yeah, $42 that lot cost me. So yeah, really, I was really kind of blown away by it. And yeah, I was there for 2 hours. Greg was there for 3 hours, and you know, and I had my 1-year-old daughter with me, and she loved it. She was in her element. So if she likes it, it can't be too bad. No, she really was. You know, it was somewhere new for her as well, so she enjoyed looking at everything. But yeah, we will definitely be going back to that store. Now, I do have a couple of other records to show you, so don't go away. Stay right there. All right, 3 other records here. These are recent pickups, so I may as well show them right now. First one was an eBay purchase, Duran Duran self-titled first album. I think this is a good deal. This is $5. Nobody else bid on it. $5 plus shipping. Contains several big hits: Girls on Film, Planet Earth, Careless Memories, I think was released as a single as well. Is there something I should know? That was a UK #1. So yeah, obviously, it's just in really nice condition. Still in the shrink. Still has the hype sticker on it. And let's see, this is on the Rainbow Capital label right there, 1981, I think. Yeah, 1981. And yeah, that's a really solid, good price. $5 plus shipping. Shipping was, you know, I don't know, $4 or something. So very, very pleased to pick that up. I've been wanting that for a while. And now, if you saw Greg's video, if you go to see Greg's video, he showed a record that I gave him yesterday, Corey Hart's First Defense album. I knew that Greg had been looking for it for a while. I stumbled across it last week at an antique store. So, you know, I saw that and I thought, oh, we've got to get that for Greg, especially as it, you know, it was still like in the shrink for the most part, anyway. But I also picked up 2 albums for myself. Now, this one, this might surprise some of you guys. Frankly, it surprised me when I picked it up, but anyway. Ms. Dynamite, a little deeper. Now, I didn't even know Ms. Dynamite was on vinyl, so this was kind of an interesting find. Now, this should have been $10, but this particular vendor at the antique store, I I think they're probably shutting up shop. 75% off everything. So I was like, for $2.50, yeah, it's a double album. It has It Takes More was the big hit. But yeah, Dynamite and I don't know the song Put Him Out, but it's advertised here, but I do know It Takes More and Dynamite, and I thought for $2.50, obviously, come on. Yeah, it even though it's not a gatefold, but it does have 2 records in here. I'll show you one of them. It's on, let's see, what label is this? Oh, Polydor. On the Polydor label. Records are in very nice condition. And I just thought I can't go wrong for $2.50, even if I don't end up liking the album. Even though I do like those 2 songs I just mentioned. Even if I end up not liking it, I'm only out $2.50, you know. And I looked on Discogs, and you know, you'd probably pay a good $10 ordinarily for this. So I suppose the original price that the guy had to $10 was pretty accurate. But and then finally, this was a different vendor at the same store, but a different vendor. I couldn't believe it. I saw this sat there. It was sat there at the front of one of the bins. I couldn't believe I found this in the US. The very first UK Now Dance album. Now, this came out in 1985, and this was $10. This was not the vendor that had the discount, but I was perfectly prepared to pay that. Beautiful gatefold. And I counted, I don't know almost half the songs on here, at least not by name. Maybe I'll recognize some of them. Here's the back. Now, the cover's sort of interesting. I mean, it has a woman, well, wearing negligee basically in bed. I don't really know what's going on with here, but well, see, the album you've been dreaming of. She's supposed to be asleep, I guess. A little bit of edge wear at the top here. I wasn't too concerned about it because the records are nice. Let me show you one of the records. There we go, on the blue. There we go, Now Dance. And I'll just read off a few of the songs. I don't know all of them, like I said, and these are all 12-inch mixes. 12-inch mixes of songs in 1985 that were in the UK chart. So we've got Easy Lover, Philip Bailey and Phil Collins. Some Like It Hot, Power Station. Would I Lie to You by the Eurythmics. Kiss Me by Stephen Tintin Duffy. Imagination by Louis Sum. Hanging on a String, Loose Ends. Clouds Across the Moon by the Ra Band. That's a great track. Solid, Ashford and Simpson. Do What You Do, Jermaine Jackson. Okay, but so the ones on the songs on the first record, I know most of, well, pretty much all of those. But the second record, okay, Rhythm of the Night by DeBarge, yes. The only other song on side 3 I know is Phyllis Nelson's Move Closer. You might think that's a bit odd being on a dance album, but I think it's like a remix of it. Side 4, I don't know any. I don't know any of the songs on side. Well, the theme from Shaft, I guess I know, but by Eddie and the Soul Band, I don't know. That must have been like some remix, some cover version of it. But yeah, you know, you guys know that I love my Now That's What I Call Music album, so I was thrilled to find that, really was. Well, that's it, guys. That's all the vinyl. Stay tuned. There's always more videos coming. If you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button below. I do post at least 2 videos a week. If you hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button, you will be notified every time I post a new video. And yeah, appreciate all of your comments as always. And until next time, everyone. Bye-bye.